Hello everyone. I'm sharing another radio in my collection that I've never restored. It's a Garod or Garod. Not really sure about the pronunciation. Somebody chime in on the comments and let me know. But it's a company that started out up in the Northeast, and I think they were part of the Gardner-Rodman Corporation. Old Radio Al did a video on a Bakelite, and he covers a lot of the history. I'll put some of those same comments in some of the description of the radio, but I won't cover that here. But I thought you'd want to take a look at it. Again, I'm not sure if the knobs on the front are original or not, but you can see at least this one just fell apart. I tried to move this switch right here, which appears to be the band selector switch, and it looks to have 3 bands, but that thing is seized up, and you can see what it did to the knob. Again, I'm not sure if this is the original wooden knob or not, but I'll look for some reproductions, or I'll look at recreating these knobs. Anyway, this knob appears to be different from this knob, and of course these two are the same, and this is unique and different as well. So unfortunately I haven't found any other examples of this radio online, so I can't say for sure if the knobs are correct or not for the piece. But what a really cool dial. I'll try to zoom in here and we'll take a look at it. And overall it's not in really bad shape. I would assume this grill cloth is original. Some of the grill work right here has been chipped out, and I'll have to make a repair here. And the whole cabinet itself is loose, and I'll show you that in just a minute, and then we'll take a look at the inside of the chassis itself here. Let me get this down. You kind of look at the top of it here, and like I said, this whole wooden cabinet's loose, as you can see here. So it needs a lot of TLC, but nothing we can't take care of, or at least that's my hopes. But pretty neat design, really. I think they were known, that particular company, for doing kind of boxy style radios. So it's kind of a neat little boxy design. And again, I've never seen any other examples of this particular one. The model number is an M33. And again, the exact year is unknown, but I would guess it to be in the mid-1930s, based on the documentation that is available. So let me flip this thing around here and we'll take a look at the side. Not in too bad a shape. You can see these little small nails here that are protruding through that the cabinet maker used, and this side here appears to be loose as well at the bottom. But all these places here, I should be able to sand these out without having to replace any veneer, which would be great. And like I said, the top is really not in bad shape at all. Let's see if I can get this thing moving here. It's hung up on my mat. Like I said, just one chip here. And this side here would probably be my most concerning. You can see I've got separation here in this area, and this whole thing lifts on this side, so I'd bet the glue blocks are missing or not there, but at least it's all together. That's a good thing. And this side right here is really not bad at all. Again, these scratches I can feel them. They're not like crazy deep, so I think a lot of this will sand out and I'll be able to keep the original veneer in place. Let me flip this around and let's take a look at the chassis. Okay, I've got this thing flipped around. Hopefully the chassis here is presentable, and I have enough light here in the video that you can see it. But again, I looked online And again, I referenced radio museums. I have not pulled the actual schematic for the radio, but it appears to be, let's see, 7 tubes. Don't know if I'm counting 7 tubes in here or not. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. It's got, according to the Radio Museum, again I haven't pulled the writer schematic, it uses 2 25Z5s. So we'll have to take a look at that design, see what that looks like. But not too bad inside. I mean, I see a little rust here on the chassis. Again, there's the model number, that model M33. I've got the tag here on the back that makes it special. And again, I'm going to try to leave all this information here on the back and protect it. But pretty clean. Looks like the speaker itself is loose. You can see here in the video it's not attached to the cabinet or to the chassis. Looks like it's leaning back. You can see the base of this tube is broke, and there appears to be no other documentation or anything inside the old wooden cabinet. So off camera, let me remove the knobs that are remaining and take the fasteners out of the bottom, assuming they're there, and get this chassis out. And let's take a look at the chassis a little bit closer, as well as underneath the chassis, see what we've got. Okay, I'm not sure how this will work out on camera. Let's try to pull this old chassis out and see what we've got. And the speaker there looks weird, the way it's just sitting there at an angle. I'm not sure if that's showing up well on camera or not, but yeah, you can see some rust there on top, a lot of dust and dirt, grime. You can't even see the adjustment slots there in the IFs. Interesting there with the wrapping there. Not sure what's going on here either. I'm assuming these coils were designed that way. Wow, that's weird. That speaker's mounted that way at an angle, so it never did sit flush, it looks like, with the cabinet. We'll have to take a closer look at that. Let me pull this out real quick and let's get the cabinet out of the way. We can get a little closer look here at the chassis itself. Okay, I went on and cut this old line cord here just to get it out of the way. It's black. I don't think that'd be right for the period. It appears to be a modern day, because you can see it's got a polarized plug on it. Looks like somebody did do some work on this. It'd be interesting to flip it over in just a minute and take a look at things a little closer. But here again you can see the back side just a little bit better, and the wiring here. So this is interesting here. Got the original, looks like ground clip, and I'm assuming this was the antenna lead itself. And the chassis appears to be marked right here as well. Not sure if it's showing up on camera or not. I can't quite make this out, but I'll do a deeper dive and look at that. It's got the phono output. Look at this side. Okay, you got 2 pattern adjustments here. Let's get the front side here. I tell you, with the rust on here, I'm not sure I'll be able to pull this off as quick as I'd like. It is what it is. So There's that really cool dial. Just wondering, I don't think it's centered correctly. It's probably moved around inside of there. There's that speaker. That seems odd, the way it's mounted, but maybe that's the way the original design was done. Looks like a little 5-inch speaker, and it is. I don't like the condition of the speaker. May just be a simple tear, so I'll try to keep my fingers out of that until I do the electrical restoration. So there's that one tube that the base is all messed up on. Yeah, this is really strange. See how the speaker is leaning back? This tube feels like it's broke there. It was sitting kind of cockeyed at an angle inside the tube socket because of the speaker itself. See a lot of rust on this side. Alright, let's flip this thing over. I'll see if I can hold it up here. I tell you what, first let me grab the schematic offline, and let's pull these tubes out one by one and see what we've got. Okay, when I left off, I was talking about this tube right here, the 165R8 being the 4-pin, and that is a ballast tube. What's unusual though, when I look up the schematic online for the M33, it shows it using two 25Z5s. So I need to do some more research. And I may have been looking at the M32 schematic the more I think about it instead of the 33. So I'll do some research, but either way, this makes sense that it would be there because you need to drop the voltage right at 50 volts. So I'm not going to put a ballast back in, but the neat thing is the base is already loose. So I'll probably use a capacitor or resistor to drop the voltage, and I'll try to put everything back inside of this tube and save this base and make it look authentic, but we'll see how that works out. Alright, let me get these tubes out of the way and get these ones marked that are not labeled before I goof up here and forget which ones are which. And I'll flip this thing around. We'll take a look underneath and see if anyone's done any work on this chassis at some point in time. Okay, got those tubes out of the way. Here's the exciting part. Let's flip this thing around. Tell you what though, before we do, I just want to look at this speaker one more time. Yeah, I ran this design that way. Who knows, this could be a replacement somebody put in at one time. Those wires are awful tight. See if I can match up these part numbers here on the speaker or the output transformer a little bit later on and see if it matches the schematic. That'd be interesting to see. Tell if it's this puppy's been replaced at some point in time. Alright, let's flip this over here. Take a look underneath. Not bad. Not bad at all. Power resistor here. There's that let's see, yep, that would have been the tube socket there for that ballast tube, and that makes sense. Only 2 connection points. So again, that's just looking to drop the voltage by 48 to 50 volts. Looks like it's tied back to the other to the 25Z5 rectifier. So we'll take a look at that entire design. Tuning condenser looks clean. a little seized up right in that area. I'm not going to mess with it. I don't want to take any chances of bending anything. And I'm assuming this is another little capacitor box here. Electrolytic capacitors inside this box. So we'll take a look at that. There's a better look at the dial itself if it shows up here on camera without too much glare. Angle it back. That's really cool. And again, there's the speaker. See a close-up of it. I hope I don't have another speaker issue ahead of me, but you know, time will tell. Anyway, you can see here the mica caps. Again, another power resistor here. I tell you, it looks to be complete. I'll have to look and see if these are old mica mold caps in here and what the values are. I might replace some of these paper caps. Probably hard to see right here on camera back in here. Get this out of here, this electrolytic. Look at the power supply section. I might take a chance and try to rig something up. Drop the voltage using some resistors on a temporary basis and see if we can power this thing up in the next week or so. See what happens. Anyway, folks, thanks for checking this out. Again, this will be, I'm going to try to knock this project out before I get into the Zeniths this winter. We'll see what happens. At least the electrical side. The cabinet may have to, you know, just wait until spring of next year. I don't like the look of this brass piece here on the dial where it snakes out in this area. We'll have to take a close look at that. So hopefully we can square that up as well. But what a neat radio. Again, you don't see too many. Let's go back to the cabinet one more time. Let me get it over here, get this chassis out of the way, and let's just look inside. Okay, here's the cabinet itself inside. And it looks like all the glue blocks are actually there. This is just all loose. So I'll be able to get a nice bead of glue underneath this whole piece of the cabinet and get that back together. I don't think that'll be a problem at all. We should be able to square this thing up with ease. Grill cloth does appear to be original. I'll probably just let it be. Look at it a little bit closer. And it's interesting. I reckon just to keep this puppy cool, you can see all these cutouts, these holes that are drilled. I'm surprised more mice have not been back up in this thing, especially with this easy access, but I sure didn't see any chewing or remnants of any mice, so we'll keep our fingers crossed and hopefully all those coils that you saw underneath are in decent shape. No markings inside the cabinet that I could see. Again, there's that underneath side. You can see some fasteners here. There's only one fastener, and I think it was here. So I'm assuming somebody ran screws in here to attach that. So we'll look at how this thing's put together. It looks like it's going to fall apart on me completely if I'm not careful here. But what a beautiful cabinet. Gorgeous in my mind. So look forward to getting started on this one. I'll probably start out with the electrical restoration, then move back to the cabinet just to make sure I can you know, get everything going, make sure the main parts and pieces there are good, and then we'll focus our attention on the cabinet itself. Thanks again for watching.